think everyone wants to know who Keldren Joshua is. So tell me, who is Keldren Joshua?
I don't even know who Keldren Joshua is, because Keldren Joshua is a young man that was born in Compton but was raised in Downey, California. And I have the heart and the soul of Los Angeles living in me and running through my blood.
Yeah, you do.
Yes.
Through and through. So you were a young boy at one point. 2006, you become a young man. Something happens. Your world is pretty much turned upside down.
Yes, my world has changed upside down.
What happened?
I got a drug conviction in 2006, and it carried a sentence of 188 months, which is 16 years and some change. And I had to turn myself into prison. That was the first time I've ever been in trouble.
But then a miracle happened. His appeal for clemency was approved by the Obama administration, and he was a free man after serving 10 years of his 16-year sentence. He knew life was going to be different, but it wasn't going to stop him from living.
One of the funny things about spending time in prison was that everybody used to always ask me, why are you always smiling? So I smiled through 10 years of being in prison. I smiled all 10 years.
Yeah.
And they would ask me, and I would say, because I know this is going to come to an end someday.
And that end came. Keldren spent 10 years behind bars, and now it was time to figure out what he was going to do outside of prison. So he did what he knew best: fashion.
I started doing clothing in 1993, and my friend and I, we started a clothing line called FKR, and then that's how I learned how to screen print. And then from screen printing, then I started adventuring more, and then I started working at Guess. And then from Guess, I started working at Cross Colors. And then from Cross Colors, I went to start working for Carl Kanai, and then from Carl Kanai, this is all during the era when urban music was taking the lead and urban clothing was taking the stance. And from that point there, I started working at American Apparel with Dove Charney.
Yeah.
And then once I started working with Dove Charney, then everything opened up more.
Yeah.
So I've always had, fashion has always been my passion, thanks to my mother, because she would always make sure that I dressed correctly. And I just was always doing fashion before, so when I came out of prison, I have to figure out, what am I gonna do? I didn't want to go to warehouses, I didn't want to work at a warehouse, didn't want to work at a market, didn't want to do no hard labor. So I decided to go back to what I know how to do with my eyes closed, and that is create clothing.
This is what's so great about Jacket Boys. Everything is one of a kind. You will not find the same thing on someone else. So tell me about Jacket Boys and why you decided to create one-of-a-kind apparel.
Because I feel that everybody should have an individuality in their clothing, right? You know, so to me, there's no such thing as fashion, right? There's trends. And someone gets something and they follow the trend, whereas a celebrity gets something, they follow the trends. We went from shoes, you know, everyone loves Nike, so that's a trend.
Yeah.
Everyone wears Nikes, everyone wears Jordans, everyone wears Air Force Ones. And so I just wanted to go against the grain and say, look, and I would tell people, hey, can I make you something that's personally yours, that you will want to wear no matter what time of the day it is, no matter if it's warm or hot, it doesn't even match your clothing, but it's yours.
From jackets to button-up shirts, shorts, and even hats, you give him some ideas of your personality, and he creates one-of-a-kind apparel. What's the process like when you find a client and somebody says, like, hey, Keldren, I really want you to make me a jacket. I don't really know what I want you to put on there, but I know these are the things that I like. What's the process from start to finish?
Well, from start to finish, I asked him. So, for example, I had a friend who asked me, she goes, I'm going to a Wu-Tang concert. I have nothing from Wu-Tang. Can you make me something that no one will ever have from Wu-Tang? And I said, yeah, no problem. Since they're my favorite group, I said, no problem. So I found a t-shirt, and I cut the t-shirt. I took the jacket, and the jacket I found was in downtown LA. And I searched in a lot of places, like, I look for used clothing, I look for new clothing, I look for clothing that's damaged, because sometimes a damaged good is sometimes a good thing for me. And so when I found this jacket, it had a hole about this big in it. So I used that and I cut it open, and I put the Wu-Tang in there, and then I started buying patches and put all these crazy patches, and I just visualized what this jacket should look like. And I don't want no one to say, oh, can I get that jacket? I'm like, no, because I'm not gonna find the same, you know, dynamics of the hole. I'm not gonna find the same cut here, the same. So So basically, from start to finish, I just ask you what you want, and then I say, will you give me permission to let me do what I see and vision in my head?
Well, on that note, we're gonna do a little fashion show.
Yes.
So let's get to it.
Okay.
All right.